Char Relay and Classic Movie. Char Relay and Classic Movie. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Happy Saturday to you. How are you doing out there? Hope your weekend is all right. It's pretty good. Hope the weather's nice. Hope you're taking care of all your business and relaxing this evening, because that's what I'm going to do. I've been having tacos on the brain all day yesterday, and I couldn't get it off my brain. I'm like, I want tacos. But today, I'm going to bless myself with some tacos. Oh, yeah. So that's dinner. But I hope you guys are safe out there. It is so much going on. And I just happened to going to report on something that happened last week. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, what is this? But I don't know. It's something about your old neighborhood. You reminisce a little bit. And so I'll be doing a little bit of that. But you guys, I'm telling you, with the way things are going, the economy and all of that, please stay safe out there. It is no joke. Some of these articles I see in all states, it doesn't matter. It's just stuff is going on. And yes, I know it's rumored that everyone is six figures, but just in case you're not, watch over your back because your neighborhood, it might be some stuff going down. But I thank you all for tuning in tonight. It could be any place else or doing something else, but hey, thank you so much. Emmanuel Briggs, hey, 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 hey. Don Teasy, always taking it easy. And she, what's going on? We here. All right. And since we're here, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So you guys know what to do. You heard her in the intro, but we're going to introduce her again. Get ready for the wonderful and the lovely and the classic.
Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Classic Ruby, everybody. Classic Ruby.
What's up? That's it. Yeah. Hey, listen, I can be short and sweet, all right? Okay. This explanation about me being short and sweet doesn't count. Okay. The what's up was all I had to say because I can be short and sweet and to the point. So, what's up?
Oh.
So, yeah.
I'm doing well. I hope you are too. And thank you so much for coming in and blessing the people this evening with the Kens and Karens because they sure was talking about it. They're looking forward to it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know what's weird, Char? I don't understand y'all because I can't do it. If you say something that nondescript to me, I get so confused. Right? What's up? What do you mean, what's up? The sky? Okay, so you mean like what's going on? Well, lots of things are going on. But you think the show's the only thing that's going on, like in my life on the planet Earth that I'm currently aware of? Right? Or like what's good? What's good is the worst. I hate it. Okay, if you want to go old school and try to be cute for a second, because step in a Ruby, do not say what's good. I am going to ruin your day because I think it's just stupid. Yo, what's good, little mama? What's good? What do you mean, what's good? Really? Having $1 million, that would be good, I guess, right? Not being homeless, that's good. Like, you want me to list a bunch of stuff that is good? Like, that's what you approach me to ask? We gonna talk about what's good in the world? Like, listen, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm too much of a literalist for slang culture. I don't know. I just can't do it.
That's funny. You know, I have a couple of sayings and stuff that I don't like. I'm like, don't say that to me. Why? Why would you say that to me? I don't blend in there. But, you know, maybe we'll come up with something every week. You know, now I know for certain for Friday's show, this guy is going to say a term, one of those terms that I do not like. So I'll, you know, tell you at that time. But we may have one every week.
Honestly, there's more than enough. So
Yeah, enough to share.
exactly.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. This one I have, even though I call this the Mother's Day show, it's not going to feel like it. I'm just going to tell you that now. It's just not going to feel like it. Let's see what happens here because a lot of these tabs, you know how you have the commercial and all of that. And I think that's what it's going to end up doing. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be nice to me. As of late, you know, a week ago, the big word on the street was about the overturn of Roe versus Wade. It was leaked. And that's just what the world is now. Everything gonna be leaked. It's no more secrets. The way I look at it, if you don't want anyone to know, just don't tell them. But in some circumstances, it's nothing you can do. If you end up, you know, in a hospital having a baby, somebody gonna tell. Oh, girl, you know she got a baby. What? It's gonna come out. But there are some things that you can keep to yourself, and no one will know. Now, back to this Roe versus Wade. I had a question when I saw this story, and let's play it.
Testify. It was 10 years ago when a 17-year-old pregnant girl left her home in St. Pete and never returned. Now, today, Jacoby Flowers, the father of that unborn child, was sentenced to 40 years in prison for her murder, but not before hearing dramatic testimony from Morgan Martin's loved ones. Fox 15's Aaron Mesmer takes us inside the Pinellas County courtroom.
As part of Jacoby Flowers' plea agreement, he could have spent 25 years in prison if investigators were able to find Morgan Martin's body before his sentencing. That never happened. Morgan's remains are still missing, and as a result, Flowers was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
She was my child. She was my daughter, and she was so good-hearted.
Leah Martin's emotions ranged from uncontrolled grief to rage.
And I hope that every day that you sleep, you have to see her. Do you understand me? I hope you see her face.
Those emotions have been building for about a decade. And as she stared in court at Jacoby Flowers, the man being sentenced for murdering her daughter, Morgan Martin, who was 17 years old and pregnant with their child, Morgan's mother couldn't hold back.
You didn't only kill my child, you killed your own. You're worthless.
As Flowers entered the courtroom Thursday, he appeared to be smiling. Before the judge finalized his 40-year sentence, Flowers spoke from the stand.
There's not a day that goes by in the last 10 years that I haven't felt the deepest level of regret and remorse for my actions.
Earlier this week, Flowers led investigators to the location in Alabama where he says he buried Morgan's body in 2012. Authorities searched for several days but didn't find her. St. Pete police say they won't stop looking.
Our ultimate goal is to locate Morgan Martin and to bring her home for her family. And as far as I see it, this case is not closed until that happens.
Investigators say text messages between Morgan and Flowers revealed a troubled relationship. According to detectives, he begged her not to have the baby because he was in another relationship. And then one night in 2012, Morgan left her home and never returned.
Okay. In this instance, when I heard the story last week, I said, okay, so what happens for sure if you don't have a choice? If your choice is taken away from you, you do not have a choice. Will this happen? Now, this guy, because I guess she chose not to, he, decided to remove her from the earth. But just think about those who would have a choice or, choose to. What happens now? You know? And that came to mind when I heard this story. I'm like, wow, this is really sad. This is really sad. And I do want to know what happens when you remove a choice.
Mhm.
Mm-mm-mm.
I actually have this story open as well. So yeah, you
Okay,
can close a tab.
go ahead and
No,
tell
no,
us.
it's all
Uh,
right. I'm glad to close a tab. I have too many today.
oh, no,
Um,
no. Go ahead. Discuss it. I'll bring it back up so something be on the screen when people come by. So
hmm
share it.
but I wanted to point out the fact that, and here's the thing: I know that we don't want to talk about it. I know we don't like
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the reality of these situations. But she's a 17-year-old girl, right? And you have this space that is basically saying, well, these young girls, as soon as you are barely legal, right? Well, you should be looking for a man who's much older. And when the women are saying, nope, we don't think that's a good plan for young girls, and here's why, and then we want to pretend like it doesn't happen. It happens all the time. This type of thing happens all the time. They're young. They're easy to basically manipulate. They're easy to confuse. They're easy to control, right? And so even though he's already given her every reason to not trust him enough to leave at night, get in the car with him, and whatever, right? Every reason. He's already told her, I don't want this baby. You're going to ruin my life. You're going to ruin my relationship with the grown ass woman I'm dating that I'm going to marry and is respectable to my parents and whatever. And I don't want it. Right. Even though every reason, her poor young mind, right, goes, oh, but he called me. He must really love me. I bet you he'll change his mind. And she gets in the car. Right. And I mean, I'm sorry, but that's really what happens. And this is why we have to look at 17, 18, 19, these are very young minds, right? And yeah, fine. They're super beautiful and nubile and whatever. But should we be encouraging, these dating gap relationships? I don't know. You don't really hear a lot of grown ass men who are committing, and I do mean committing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To 17-year-old girls. That's not what you're really hearing, right? Let's be real. They want to run through little girls. They want to play with them on the side. They want to use them like toys so they can discard them. They want whatever. But what they're not saying is, ooh, I can't wait to find a 17-year-old so I can marry her and make her my wife. That's not really what they're saying, right? So that's just what like screamed like out to me about the story. I'm like, 17-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and then he's gonna go, I regret what I did. It's gonna haunt me. She was 17. I don't care if you regret what you did, right? They give you 40 years because you refused to tell them where the body was. That's why you got 40 years instead of life or the death sentence, because he wouldn't tell them where the body was. So even in that, he was playing games. So how much does he regret what he did?
Yeah, I did not believe that he regrets it, because one thing, he wouldn't have to write it down to read it.
Right.
You know, think about it. Every day for 10 years. Don't you think that's memorized? You're expert at how you feel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to write it down. Let me read this. I regret what I did 10 years ago. I think about it every day. No, come on.
Right.
Stop
Plus,
it.
you feel so much regret, you don't walk into the courtroom smiling. Just saying. Because you're feeling regret. People don't smile while they're regretting stuff. That's not the way, human feelings work. So, yeah. Nope. He's still happy. He's still happy. He don't, as much as fine, he's got to go to prison for it and whatever, but he just doesn't see another way. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
just think about it. And this, to me, you don't, when you do that, you may not want the child or whatever. You're in another relationship. You know what you're doing. You're hiding. Okay. But where's the responsibility in that? I want this young thing, but where's the responsibility? I don't want to get caught. So let me do what I can to make sure I don't get this child pregnant, this young lady pregnant. But no.
You would think, right? I mean, this
Right.
seems like it would make sense.
Right. Now you have nothing, no job, no woman, whatever that person was, nothing.
Exactly. It's like basically almost the rest of your life in prison. So that's something,
Okay.
I guess. Right? I mean, come on. God damn. All
Pitiful.
right. Well, you know what? I feel like we should brighten ourselves up. So we should talk a little bit about um, submission news, right? We really like to talk about, the demographics that have these really submissive women, right? So obviously not black women. Black women are not part of the submissive woman demographic. Um, so I feel like we should talk about this very submissive woman. She does all of the, types of behavior that you'd want to see in a woman, obviously. Um, I mean, and I don't know if I'm going to be real, I don't know if she's Latino or Latina, or if she's Asian. She kind of looks like both to me,
Okay.
but either way, in submission news, I submit this for submission news, y'all. Okay, this Seattle submission 101. Okay, let's go on.
Scenes of violence on the streets of the Emerald City. The Spotlight has obtained video of a wild stabbing that led to an AK-47 style rifle being fired in a Seattle homeless camp. Take a look as a van pulls up to drop off food for the people who are living in tents on 13th Street, just north of Dearborn, between the Goodwill and Public Storage building. The guy bending over to pick up food is David Charles Burchak. His wife has been having issues with a woman named Arias Beckett Sumpay, better known on the streets as Lady Gangster. Apparently, Burchak told Lady Gangster she needed...
See, Arias kind of sounds, Latina-ish to me, but then Sumpay, I don't know, I just feel like that's more Asian-y somewhere, maybe Filipina. Right? And she kind of looks like a mix of both. But I mean, definitely, the giant tattoo on her neck, right, screams submissive.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I mean, she has her natural hair, natural eyelashes, right? She doesn't feel the need to be covered up in makeup. So, I mean, she's a good woman. She's a good woman. Yeah. Well, let's see what else she did in public, because apparently, right, it's only us who act bad in public and do crazy, wild, or violent things. Let's see.
To move her tent. Instead, she sneaks up behind him and shanks him repeatedly with a knife, lacerating his liver, intestines, spleen, and severing a tendon in his arm. Lady Gangster then casually heads up the stairs that leads towards 12th Avenue and the Navigation Center. Meanwhile, Burchak runs to his tent and grabs his rifle, managing to squeeze off a round before succumbing to his wounds. At that point, his friend, who is yet to be identified, takes the AK-47 style rifle and peels off a series of shots at Lady Gangster as she scampers up the hill. This is all happening at 10 a.m. on a Monday. Adam, who told us about the ordeal, was asleep in the red tent you see there at the bottom left of your screen.
Sir, this morning I woke up and literally 2 feet from my head, somebody got stabbed and someone took an AK-47 to the air 4 times. I mean, I'm terrified.
He eventually pops out to get some food. Meanwhile, Burchak's friend stashes the rifle back in Burchak's tent, where his wife tries to play keep away from the police, forcing them to get a warrant to access the tent, even though they can see the rifle clear as day through the mesh of the tent. Cops are to issue a warrant for both Burchak and Lady Gangster's tents. Burchak's wife then bites one officer and scratches another, drawing blood. Police eventually seize the AK-47 style rifle and 2 bolt-action guns. Lady Gangster, who stands out because of that huge neck tattoo, is still on the lam. This isn't her first run-in with the law. She was already on a felony no bail
See, look
warrant
how
for
Asian she
escaping
looks here.
community custody after being convicted of another stabbing in 2019. Now she's got a $500,000 warrant for her arrest for this assault case that she's charged in. It's just another day on the mean streets of Seattle with shootings, stabbings, and bitings.
Now, if y'all didn't miss that, right? She's already been convicted of 1 stabbing, which means she stabbed countless people. This is the way that she solves her problems, right? She stabs you, and she knows exactly where to stab you, right? Like she lacerated livers and stuff. She aimed. She didn't just no, she aimed. She got it in good. She knew where to go to make the most damage, right? Like she was trying, but you know,
Wow.
yeah, right. They train them in submission. So she was trained because you know it's only our culture, right, that doesn't train our women to be submissive. So you know, from what I understand, then that means that she was trained to be submissive, and this is what came out of that.
Right. That is true. Yeah. I'm with you.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know, someone else for us to live up to, guys. So,
Okay. Now, this story I would, at this point, I think they need to change the name to give the living give them a chance. I don't know if it's a girl or boy. I think it might be a boy, but those second, thirds, fourth, and fifths and all that, because something going on with this bloodline, and I'll play it for you, and you'll see what I mean. It may give me a commercial. Let's see. Hopefully not.
Running a business comes with pressure. Fortunately,
I had a feeling it might, but I'll make it bigger.
Now to a major break for police in a string of homicides over the past week.
Didn't take police long to connect the dots. They found the accused killer. You've heard the name of Kola Beal IV a lot lately, connected to 3 homicides. Police got their man late last night in Hampton. 10 of your side investigative reporter Julie Millay has more on the arrest and the history of violence for Beal's family. Julie?
Kola Beal IV was arrested last night in the Buckrow area of Hampton. The 30-year-old is charged with killing those 3 people over the last week. Today, we're learning more about his troubled past and a family history of violence. Now facing charges of killing 3 people, we're learning more about Kola Beal IV. First, we learned that his father, Kola Beal III, is currently in prison for killing his wife back in 2014. Police said back then that at least once before the murder, they had responded to the couple's Maryland home for a domestic dispute. At the time, neighbors couldn't believe what had happened.
I was just a bit shocked, stunned. It's sad. It's a sad situation.
Court documents show that Kola Beal IV is a convicted sex offender with a history of run-ins with the law. In 2013, he pled guilty to robbery, conspiracy, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. 4 years later, he pled guilty to sexual battery of a victim under the age of 13. He was out on probation for those charges when he was caught driving drunk on Naval Station, Norfolk in 2019. He was found guilty of that federal DUI charge. He was then sentenced to spend 5 days in jail. Now he's accused of killing his girlfriend, a father figure, and a cousin. His cousin's sister, also Beal's cousin, said they were close, and she's not sure what could trigger Beal to kill his family member.
It's very tough.
Just trying to hold it together and, hold my composure. We've been doing a lot of crying and praying and having people pray for us. I appreciate everyone who's pouring out their prayers. And
Those court documents also show that Cola Beal IV does have a son. Beal is currently in the Virginia Beach City Jail awaiting his next court appearance. I'm Julie Millay, 10 on your.
All right, so son. Okay. So with that son being left, I would have to change his name. And because I'm guessing that he might be the fifth, but it's too much going on. With that third and fourth, um, their lives weren't that good. I would at least change my name. Now he did get rid of the girlfriend. I don't know if the child was by that girlfriend, could be, but whoever's the guardian, I would change that child's name and move too if I could.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
awful. That is awful.
Yeah,
Talking about the bloodline. Oof.
there's no point on changing the name if you're not going to also move, because then everyone's just going to say, oh yeah, remember what his name used to be? Right? Like, so
Right. That's why I said and move. But then again, it depends on the person's finance, who's left with that child, and what they could do. But that's what I would do. I have to get out of there.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, sometimes, listen, I'm still saying, right, that obviously bad behavior is not genetic, like you're not genetically defective, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, we do got to recognize that sometimes cultural trends and behaviors are just so ingrained
Yes.
that it almost it almost looks that way. Because
Exactly.
I mean, what the hell? If you said, no, I'm pretty sure, no, these people have to be genetically defective. I mean, there are some things, for example, if you're a sociopath, right? Like you have like a smaller frontal lobe and stuff like that, right? So I mean, but it's not like a gene. It's not like a you ain't shit gene, like
Okay.
it's not quite like that. So
Mm-mm. That's messed up.
Well, since you said it was Mother's Day, and I have a mother, so I should have known that. But I really didn't think it was until next week. I don't know why. I didn't think it was now, but it's fine. It's okay. I can shift gears a little bit. So we're next going to talk about Seth Settle. Yeah. And so a week ago, I guess, maybe this was his pre Mother's Day celebratory action. I don't know. Y'all will let me know what you think. Um, Seth decided, okay, he's 19 years old, decided he was going to kill his mother for telling him not to smoke inside of her house. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay,
Oh.
yeah, yep. No, I know. Inside of her house, not don't smoke at all. Not I'm going to beat you senseless. Not I'm going to kill your babies. No, 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 no. Don't smoke in my house. It's my house.
Hmm.
I pay for the house and all the stuff in it and feed you and clothe you and gave you life and whatever. And in return, you're not going to smoke death sticks in my house. That's all she really said. And he decided,
Oh.
yeah, no, I'm just you don't deserve to live after that. That was crossing the line, mom.
Oh.
Okay. Yep. All right. So ratchet ass Florida, of course. Let's read the story. So this 19-year-old Florida man was arrested and charged with allegedly shooting and killing his mother in their Polk County home this week. Seth Settle reportedly shot and killed his mother Thursday after she ordered him to stop smoking cigars in his bedroom. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said, according to the Fox 13 Tampa Bay. Is that a news station? Fox 13 Tampa Bay? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's missing a word. Anyway, um, the incident occurred shortly after Settle's father left work on what seemed like a normal weekday. Shortly after 9:30 a.m., though, he had received a call that his wife had been taken to a hospital. Authorities were first alerted to the incident by Settle's 24-year-old brother, who found his mother collapsed in their Lake Wales home. Authorities did not immediately suspect foul play because there reportedly wasn't any blood found in the home or obvious injuries to the victim's body. But by the time Settle's father had picked up his daughter from school and returned home, he was informed that his wife had died. After Settle's mother had been pronounced dead, a nurse inspected the body and found what appeared to be puncture wounds. Judd said the victim had been shot in the heart, stopping it immediately and staunching the flow of blood. Settle fled, but later confessed to investigators that he had shot his mother. Why are we saying allegedly then? I don't know. Anyway, Judd said Settle claimed he was depressed and had been holding a gun to his own head before his mother had entered his bedroom. He claimed the gun accidentally discharged when he went to lower the weapon. Okay, I want y'all to think about that. So what he said was the gun was pointed at his own head because he was going to kill himself. His mama opened the door, and in him taking the gun away from his own head, it accidentally swiveled from his head towards his mother and then accidentally discharged too. Okay. Yep. Okay. But the sheriff said authorities believe he shot his mother out of anger. Judd reportedly said that every indication pointed to the 52-year-old mother as the most wonderful mom in the world and said the family was regarded as nice and hardworking. The only people that are more shocked and stunned by this in law enforcement are the immediate family. No one could see this coming, Judd said. He fled past her, didn't help, didn't call 911, the sheriff added. I can't begin to tell you the horror of this event. Settle was charged with second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, 5 counts of providing false information to law enforcement, and discharging a firearm on a residential property. Now, that's another point, right? So he accidentally, this is accidental. I already described part one. But let's pretend that somehow through some miracle, right? He's pointing the gun at his own head, aimed at him. Someone comes into your bedroom, and so you start taking it down, and the gun accidentally discharges and accidentally hits them. What is your very first response? Is it to save yourself, run into the house and hide because you didn't do anything wrong, was accidental? Or is your first response to go, oh my God, no, mom, I'm so sorry. It was supposed to hit me, and go and hold her, call 911. You're trying to, stop the blood flow, right?
Right.
Which is honestly a better way to save yourself, because if she lives, she can say clearly wasn't an intentional thing. There was an argument, whatever, right? So I mean, that's yeah, that was Happy Mother's Day. That family. That's Ratchet ass Florida for you.
Wow. I don't know. It's what do you do? I'll just say this. I've seen where 40-year-olds are still living at home with their parents or the mother. And it isn't a good thing. Every story I hear is just never good. So you may try to figure out a good age, prepare that son to leave the home and be a responsible adult. You might want to work on that. Yeah.
Yep. Might be good. Might be.
Yeah.
Just try to try. Yeah.
All right. We have a mall in Chicago here called the Brickyard Mall. And it was a shooting, it was last week. And it was it was kind of early. I'm trying to think, was it before noon or around noonish? And I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened. Probably a carjacking, that's what I'm thinking. Somebody tried to rob. But I heard a little bit something later, and it was a little strange. It was like it happened so fast and some other stuff. I'm like, well, that's normal. I mean, robberies are fast. But until I got the details, and here are the details of what happened. And this mall I used to go to when I was younger, this is where the kids used to hang out. I stopped going probably whenever Montgomery Ward, if anyone remember that, I know Jack Spade, you heard of that. Once Montgomery Ward went out of business, the mall just, I couldn't stand it anymore. But anyway, here goes the story. Maybe.
Separating, prosecutors say Jennifer Hamilton was shot and killed by her husband on Wednesday. In fact, a little more than a week after she took out an emergency restraining order against him. New details in the Brickyard Mall shooting following today's bond hearing of suspect Alfonso Hamilton. Prosecutors say his wife, Jennifer Hamilton, a mental health specialist at Cermak Health Services at Cook County Jail, was granted an emergency order of protection against him. It came after court documents state she went to authorities on April 16th, nearly 2 weeks after an apparent domestic incident between the couple. On Wednesday morning, prosecutors say Jennifer was on a teleconference call with her doctor when she pulled into the parking lot of the couple's Northwest Chicago home. That's when prosecutors say she spotted her estranged husband and decided to drive to the nearby Brickyard Mall in front of the Target store. Jennifer's doctor asked her if she wanted police called, but she said no, saying she wasn't worried about her husband hurting her, but did ask the doctor to stay on the call. That's when Jennifer suddenly called out to the doctor to call 911 before prosecutors say her husband shot her 5 times and then drove away. According to court documents, Alfonso admitted to police he shot his wife after asking if she was seeing someone else, and she responded that she was. According to prosecutors, Alfonso's mother urged him to turn himself in 15 minutes after the shooting. Court documents state he arrived at Schiller Park Police Station to do just that. And prosecutors also say Alfonso Hamilton had a history of domestic violence and was convicted on domestic assault charges 3 times between 2001 and 2003. In this recent case, today a judge ordered him to be held without bail. His next court date is scheduled for...
And we're not going. Okay. What's going on here? All right. The woman, she was talking to a therapist. And I don't know why she didn't think that he was not going to do anything to her. I mean, if you take out a restraining order on someone, chances are if they follow you in broad daylight and they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to shop with you, they don't want to excuse me, buy you anything, I think they want to harm you. I don't know why, maybe, I don't know. I really don't know, but it goes back to what I've said many times, that when you have issue, when it's domestic, you really have to separate. You have to. It's I've never really heard where it works out well for anyone. People that I've known, these stories I read, it just don't seem to work out well. Violence is violence. If violence is supposed to be love, you love me, you want to hit me upside my head, no, I'm sorry. I don't want that type of love. And I never forget what a friend told me many years ago, is to find out when a man, you need to see a man angry you, before you marry him. I don't care how many years it is. If you date him for, and you're going to find, everybody got emotions, but you need to find out what his anger looks like, because it might look like going upside your head. It just might. But I am so tired of these stories. I really hate to hear them. And we, as women, we are very forgiving. Once things die down, we have talked about this. Once things die down, we're like, okay, all right, I'll give them another chance. But when it's violence, domestic abuse is violence. That'll be a no. It means leave. You can love the person. You're not going to stop loving him that day he popped you upside your head. But you need to separate. Run, hide, go away, skedaddle. Save yourself, save your life. Because there's too many of these things happening over and over again. No, I'm sorry. I tried with you. I loved you. You go upside my head. This is it. You know, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because that's how they solve problems. The problem is, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And this is one of the hardest messages to get through to people. Okay, I'm going to say people because, well, yes, I haven't professionally helped any men, right? I have privately and personally, right? Counseled friends, family, whatever. And it is the hardest thing to get through to people. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Okay. And so I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. So if someone physically assaults you because they're angry, hurt, upset, whatever it is, right? And then they say they're sorry. They say they've had a come to Jesus moment. They say they'll never do it again, right? What changed between last night when they hit you and this morning? Like
The
nothing changed.
calendar.
Right, exactly. Nothing changed. Short of them going to therapy, doing all kinds of stuff, right? That's not going to be a thing that changes, right? Because nothing changes if nothing changes. So if all they did was make you promises, that is not changes. All they did was cry about it. That's not changes. They finally bought you flowers. They finally did this. No, but unless they change something, they took the accountability and responsibility to go do the hard work on themselves. Nothing's going to change because nothing changes if nothing changes. And let's be real. If you've already forgiven them, then they have no incentive to change. So now you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop because it will. That's just what it is. It will. It's
Yes.
coming. So if you don't want it to be coming, maybe make different decisions. Like
Yes.
leave. Stab. Okay. So guys, in Trinidad and Tobago news, I know, it sounds crazy for a second, but no, we're going to talk about Trinidad and Tobago news because I want the Black American man to understand that, you know what, it's not necessarily better all over else, right? I mean, there's other places in the world, and now you're like, but here the government and these women's and but other places they ain't raised that way. It's true.
Submissive. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They all submissive and they understand, right? Other cultures understand that single mamas ain't shit, so they don't get no help from no baby daddy. Well, I don't know. I struggle to believe that when I see articles like this, as you can see here, right? So what it's saying now is the state has to pay a man, okay, who was wrongly arrested 3 separate times for child support. Yep. Now
Good.
that is the judge, right? It's actually a woman. Shocking, I know, right? The judge who ruled in his favor, okay, Justice Carol Gobin. So let's listen to this story. It's actually from Tobago, but it's Trinidad and Tobago. It's like the same place. Anyway, okay. A Tobago man who was arrested on 3 occasions for non-payment of child maintenance has won his case against the state, which failed to defend his lawsuit for wrongful arrest, false imprisonment, and breach of his rights. Y'all will see the ain't shitness of this system. Y'all think the American system is bad. Y'all are getting arrested when you really don't pay your child support. He really got arrested 3 times when he didn't owe any child support. Okay, let's keep going. I know. So police arrested Carrington 3 times on alleged outstanding maintenance orders when there were none against him. Carrington is the father of 1 child who turned 21 in March. The periods for which it was alleged he owed payment were long after his child turned 18. The letter said around 2011, his ex wife took him to court for maintenance, again, because everywhere around the world, people want help from the father of their children for the child. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, so in 2011, his ex wife took him to court for maintenance, and an order was made for him to pay $100 per week until the child turned 18. That's $400. Trinidad and Tobago, just saying, per month. A bunch of Americans pay way less than that. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, until the child turned 18 or until further ordered. Up until 2017, when the child turned 18, Carrington made all of his payments and never defaulted, not even once, as the money was taken directly out of his bank account and paid directly to the family court in Port of Spain. Carrington even overpaid by 1 month. So he was first arrested on November 6th of 2017 for non-payment of $2,500 for the period ending July 31st, 2017, although his child was already 18. He was only allowed to leave the police station after he paid the alleged outstanding sum. A week later, on November 13th of 2017, he was arrested again on a warrant for $2,400 in arrears for June 23rd to August 17th, 2017. Again, he had to pay the money before being released from the police station. After the second arrest, Carrington went to the family court, which reimbursed him the $2,400 after acknowledging there had been some error. On March 4th, 2000, Carrington was arrested for a third time for $1,500 in maintenance arrears for April 14th to May 18th, 2017. They just keep going back.
What?
Yep. Carrington's lawsuit said he was held in a filthy cell at the Scarborough police station without food or water until his family was able to scrape together the money to pay the alleged arrears. He again returned to the family court and was refunded the $1,500 promptly. Like, it's not even in the family court system. It just, how is this happening?
Right.
It's amazing, right? Now, not only did Mr. Carrington explain to the police that his maintenance payments came out directly from his salary at the TRHA and that all payments had been made, he also explained to them that the child was now well over the age of 18 and the maintenance order had come to an end April 2017. Nobody cared. Yeah. Can you imagine? Sure, like you done finished paying, you have the celebration, you're like, yeah, no much child support for me. Yeah. You know, probably took your friends out for some beers, you know what I mean? Yeah, done. Right? And then, you know, within 6 months you start getting arrested for child support you don't know.
That's just ridiculous.
Right?
That is ridiculous. I hope he got so much money that coming out of some of those folks' check. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and see, Darteezy, you weren't paying enough attention because you said welcome to the U.S. court system. That was the Trinidad and Tobago court system, sir. That was not the U.S. court system. That was happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Yep.
Just the fact that he got paid back.
Yeah,
you
you
want
should
a
have
settlement
known.
should tell you right there.
Right. You should have known that after he paid the police, right, he went to the family court and they gave him back his money right away. They went, oh, no, it must have been an error. How much you pay? Oh, here you go. Just so you know, that's how America works. They don't give you back your money. Good luck.
Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is speaking of pensions. You better watch the system. I don't know what's about to happen with this particular case that's going on. And it's a big case because it was like $50 billion, I think. Oh boy, I have to listen to the story again. I got numbers in my head, but I'm going to read a little bit, but I'm also going to play this, and this will give you an introduction of Bill Hung. All right, Bill, tell them how you defrauded United States.
Some breaking news. Former Archegos Capital Management owner Bill Wang has been arrested this morning by federal agents. Former Chief Financial Officer Patrick Halligan of that family office also arrested. Those men are charged with racketeering, securities fraud, and wire fraud, accused of manipulating stock prices higher. You may remember Bill Wang. We talked about him last year. He had a big family office, some $20 billion in play at one point, responsible in large part for the uptick in the price of companies like Discovery, right before it was trying to merge with Warner Media, also with CBS Viacom, and lots of questions about what exactly is happening. But this looks like perhaps one of the biggest white-collar prosecutions in years. We should note that Bill Wang, if you remember, a former Tiger Asia Global guy, was pled guilty to insider trading back in 2012. And interestingly and of note, he was responsible and was in business early on with Cathie Wood in helping her launch some of ARC's ETFs. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on this arrest this morning and this case and what it all means, and lots of emails and texts and other traffic.
Stop the music. All right. Let me tell you about Mr. Wang here. Let's see here. I got a couple of tabs. Let me go find them. Let's see. Bill Wang, the Wall Street investor who lost $20 billion in days. He is a devout Christian, and he gave away millions to good causes. So they're trying to, fluff him up, but it's not going to help any. Korean American investor Bill Wang was once known as the greatest trader you had ever heard of. Then he lost it all. A former Tiger Cub Wang, New York based Archegos Capital Management collapsed in March, wiping out a reported $20 billion fortune in days. Let me scroll some more here. Where is he's 57 years old. He's facing 380 years in prison. You can forget that. We know that's not going to happen. I don't care how much money you swindle, the most you're going to get is about 10 years. Well, that's at least that's as much as you're going to serve if you do not die in prison. He has given money like $950 million to different charities. However, it's not going to help him any. Let me find. I got one more thing I want to read about him coming to America. If I can find his salt and pepper hair. No, that's not it. Because every story, well, not story, every article, they give you a little bit more. Okay. 11 counts, we already said that. Okay, so he had inflated his portfolio. It was, at first, it was $1.5 billion. And then he just kind of, moved around a few numbers and said, oh, it's actually $35 billion. So, yeah, I'm worth a whole lot more. Let's see. I'm trying to find, okay, as far as his arrest, he had a salt and pepper hair, whatever, green turtleneck, tan pants on, and he was to appear this past Wednesday afternoon in court, and he pled not guilty. He agreed to pay $5 million in cash and pledged two properties to secure a $100 million bond, while Halligan agreed to $1 million bail. Now they are, of course, they're a flight risk. I'm more than likely, because he is actually from Korea, he might have a little stash together and he gonna disappear like my man. Because every year I have to report. What is his name? I got to look up his story. He was a criminal, and I have to give it to him because he milked the Medicare system so badly. He was like number one on the FBI most wanted list for some years. Of course, as time went on, people replaced him, but he's still on that top 10. But I think, oh, Gautam Gupta, that's his name, Gautam Gupta. So Dr. Gautam Gupta is probably in India somewhere with a dot on his head. enjoying all his billions of dollars that he scammed. But this one here with Bill Wang, he has swindled the most money so far. So he's number one. Probably Gautam Gupta is probably number two, and Bernie Madoff probably was number three. And in fact, I should compile a list of the most fraud that people got away with in America. I think I might do that. Yes, I'm kind of strange like that. I think I might do that. But I'm sorry. I still laugh, and I know it's terrible because the taxpayers, hey, we got to pay up. But Dr. Gata Gupta, I'm sorry. He was just too slick. He knew that the feds was on him, and he just disappeared at night. And by him, think about it, by him being from India, he could just put a dot on his head and blend in with everybody, with the locals, and live a nice life. Dang. But this guy, not so much.
To be fair, though, in most countries, since corruption reigns supreme, you can be of any race. If you have enough money, you can put that dot on your head and blend in with the locals, and no one will have ever seen you. So,
That's true, but a lot have been caught, though. A lot, it'd be 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, and they'll, be caught. So, but I think Gautam Gupta, I don't think he's ever going to get caught because he just looked like the next Indian, he looked like Dr. Patel.
See, but he also knows the game. See, what happens is people get lazy or they run out of money or they get brave. See, when you know the game, you know you got to keep paying until you die. As soon as you stop paying, your protection stops too, right? Like, it's not like, oh, I paid for 20 years, that's good enough. No, it's not, right? Because literally on 20 years in one day, as soon as you stop paying, that's what it is. The smart people pay till they die. That's what it is. You got to keep paying. It's what it is. The bank of you never closes as long as you want to stay invisible. This is what it. There's a Bitcoin guy. He's from Canada. I think it was called BitConnect or whatever. Anyway, massive hustle. Then he dies, and but he didn't just die in Canada or something. He went to India, on a trip to India, and then died in India. And billions of dollars, Bitcoin Connect, everything just disappeared with him, right? Like, because he's dead now, no one can log in, and everyone who got swindled, right? They're like, no, there's no way he's really dead. Like, no one really believes he's really dead. No one does. Wow. But what are you gonna do about it?
Nothing.
Billions of dollars. He's the whitest white guy on the face of the planet, and I am telling you, no one will ever see him again. No, they will see him every day, talk to him, whatever, and he's going to hand $100 bill to everyone he sees. And guess what? They have never seen that man again. The doctor swore up and down. There's no way. Yes, he died right here under my care. I was so shocked. He just kept bleeding and bleeding. I didn't know what to do. Oh my God. I'm telling you, that man is well alive. He's very happy. Very. Trust.
Okay. Dang. All right. Do you have one more story for us before our Kens and Karens?
Nah. I mean, I do, but you know what? I'll just put those all into a story for next week. Kind of sort of themey.
Oh, okay then. Sounds good. Let me get the Ken and Karen going here because folks are ready for it. They rubbing their hands together. They're like, yeah, get them Kens and them Karens. So let's watch Ken get Turner today. Here we go.
Yeah, this is not your apartment. Do you have an ID on you, maybe? Put that fucking... Dude, seriously? You attacking me? Seriously? Get that phone out of your... Hey! Turner! What the hell's wrong with you? You stupid?
Kicked him to the elevator. Get out of here.
Well, maybe a little. I always like that question. What the hell's wrong? Are you stupid or something? Well, I mean, what's the answer to that, right? Going back to what we were talking about at the start of the show.
Right.
If I say yes, does that get me off the hook? Or I'm not sure why you asked that. Like, it's a weird question. Like, why would you ask? Why don't you just make statement? I don't know. I'm sorry. I know. I think of the weirdest things at the weirdest times. Fine, whatever. Okay. So since it's Mother's Day tomorrow, I figured we should open up the Karens with a special Karen-y mother. Now, to be clear, in case it's not going to be clear from watching it, this Karen, basically, she found out her daughter was moved to the front of the bus. That's right, y'all. It is not Rosa Parks' time. And so being at the front of the bus is the bad thing. Because the cool kids sit at the back of the bus. Right? I'm talking about the school bus, right? Cool kids sit at the back of the bus. And that's where all your friends are. If you're at the front of the bus, you're a loser. You have no friends, right? No one's talking at the front of the bus. It's no fun there. So Karen's daughter was acting up and gets moved to the front of the bus. And as you can see from this right here, this is a student on the bus, because this is, y'all, if y'all can't recognize, I saw it right away. It's like the pattern of the seat on the bus anyway.
Okay.
Right. So there's a kid recording from on the bus. Let's see how Karen deals with her child being moved to the front of the bus. If you missed that, I just want you to realize what she said was, you're black and you're racist. I'm guessing against her white kid is what she meant by that. So that's why she got moved to the front of the bus, because she's racist. Okay, I had to point that one out. It's really hard to hear, but she is already screaming. Okay.
Exit off the bus. Oh, I was right off while she's talking. Exit off my bus. Exit off my bus. Because I'm not going to listen to nothing what you're saying. Call Mr. Come on, guys. So fucking God. Oh my God. She's gonna...
Damn.
That's on period.
That's on period. Okay. I didn't really I hate the way that these young kids say period. But that was funny. That was a good one. That's on period.
Wow.
Karen.
Isn't that so? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You're an example. You're the parent. That's why I said about the behavior that you see on social media. You're a parent. Kids see you, your children and other children. You're supposed to be the example. But no.
You'd think, right? You'd think. They're grown ass people. It's not like, I wish I could say, well, yeah, but everyone keeps having children at 15. So by the time their kids are 12, they're still in their mid 20s. But that's not true. A lot of these people are like 30, 40, 50 years old. They just stopped maturing at 16. That's what happened.
Right.
I don't know. Now listen, I don't know, y'all. On one side, okay, I'll tell you about my ignorancy after we play this clip. Then I'll tell you where I'm ignorant and where I low key a little bit relate to the sentiment, not to the behavior, but to the sentiment. Okay. So it says, if y'all can't see because it's kind of late, it says, she called the cops on me because me and my co-worker were talking in Spanish. She called the cops.
Oh, because she couldn't understand.
Yes, she did. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, but I already get everything to her. I already
Yes,
talked with
ma'am.
my boss.
How
I
can I
send
help
all the
you?
proofs. He be talk with the postal service and see what is going on. And I still apologize for the inconvenience for the ambulance. And the rest, well,
Okay, well, why are we speaking Spanish
it's our
about
own
her?
language.
I don't
No,
give a shit.
we
You
don't
don't. No,
speak
no,
about
no.
her.
You
No, there's a
when you
child
have
here.
customers,
Do not fucking record me.
when you
You don't want evidence, Karen? What's
Not
up?
at all.
Y'all felt very brave when you thought no one was gonna see you. Um, but I get it. I do. It's a low key. Like I said, I low key get it because it is frustrating and upsetting when you're trying to get information or whatever, and then the people in the store start speaking a language you don't understand. And you get the feeling they're talking about you, but you can't prove it. And all you want to know is what the hell they're saying. Like,
Yeah, but see, they deserve that because there's no way you were going to be able to say anything in English about these two because they're already irate. So it was the best thing to do.
true.
They were trying to figure out, okay, you're going to call James? No, I can handle this myself. Let me just go ahead and just give her this receipt back and give her a 10% discount. So they were trying to work it out. I get that. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm like, I also get the other side. Now, I wouldn't act this way, right? So there's a
Right.
difference in sentiment and behavior. It drives you crazy, like when you go into the nail salons and stuff, and these bitches are talking about your feet or your hands or something. They're talking about you. You know it. You see it. You can feel it. You know when people are talking about you. But when you go, oh, what's so funny? That they lie to you, and you're like, now you gonna lie to my face, and I still gotta tip you? Really? Like, you just know, right? It's like, oh man, all through high school, I wanted to do is learn Mandarin and Cantonese so I can try to understand what these chicks were saying because it just would drive me crazy. I know you're talking about me. I know. That's it. I know you're talking about me. I don't know. So just say. Now this is interesting. Okay. So now this person says that the woman who came in describes fully disguised herself and one of them hijabs that fully cover everything so she could get away with this crime. Um, Now she disagrees with the figurines that are for sale here. So I guess this is how another religion and race of Karen do their thing. So I will read down here the closed captioning because it's in a different language. Okay. So
Okay.
the first thing it says is, "Hey you, come here." Snaps fingers. Snaps fingers. Hey you. Who is this? And he says, "These are Hindu figures." And she says, "Hindus? Why are you selling these here?" Second lady says, "This is a Muslim country, right? Why is this here?" And he said, "They're just here." She said, "Then these are." Well, yeah, let's go. This is a Muslim country, right? Not an infidel land, right? And he said, "I'm also Muslim." Oh yeah, you're a Muslim? Well, this spreads disbelief, right or wrong. This is the land of Hamid bin Isa. Does Hamid bin Isa approve of this? Smash. Let's go. Bring some more and we'll see if anyone worships idols here. And then she goes, that big one. Break the big one. Prophet Abraham broke the biggest one last. Let's go. And then he goes, I want the police. Yeah.
It's just so many different directions to go with this. I mean, what holiness is this? Would their God, approve? Where are their husbands? Where's their covering?
Right.
These little fake Muslims running around here. Please.
I mean, you would think, you would think, right? I mean, that's what I understood is how it's supposed to be, but maybe we're wrong, Char. Maybe we misunderstood. That's supposed to have your man and your covering, and then your man does stuff. And you're not supposed to do stuff that is going to get you in hot water, that then your man has to come and save you when that grown-ass man over there starts whooping your ass because you breaking his merchandise. You see what I'm saying? So I just say,
Right. Just ain't no submissiveness around here anymore, I tell you.
hey, hey, I am just the arbiter of truth. I'm just showing y'all the story and you make your judgments. All right. What was this one? Oh, this one is a male Karen freaking out at a Wendy's employee. Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
On regular, right? How many times do I have to repeat myself? I already said it like 2-3 times. Are you incoherent? Are you like drunk on the influence of drugs? I'm telling you my answer like 3 freaking times, bro. Is your manager, like, does she have any mental illnesses? Is she on the influence of drugs? Yo, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I'm not doing anything, dude. You're cursing at me? Yo, get out of the rest of me. You can't touch me. Hey, bro, don't touch me. I'm gonna call the police. You touch me, I'm gonna call the cops and I'm gonna arrest you, sir. I just ordered something.
Oh my god, this is so aggravating.
You're recording? Ma'am, your employee is putting his hands on me. Can I order my food? I'm recording you. I will make sure that everybody in this restaurant is fired. Your employee just put his hands on me.
I'm trying my best here.
I'm just trying to order something.
I got so far a 4-piece chicken.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the typical Karen shock, right? That like there's repercussions for you saying outrageous stuff, right?
Right. And then still demanding service.
Right. How dare you?
Can you give me what I want now?
Right? Like your employee put his hands on me to gently lead you out of the. It's not like he hit you. Like you're phrasing it like he hit you, but we all saw he didn't hit you, sir. Like that was a gross over exaggeration, sir.
Right.
Every time. All right. Now, y'all, I absolutely love this cart, I think we would call it cart raiders. This guy is hilarious because he says he has a team, so there's more than just him doing it. But it's just, we watched one of these before. Basically, he goes and he approaches people who don't put their cart back in the cart return place, right? So this is him approaching a Ken this time. Okay.
Error in your judgment, lazy bones. No, sorry, let me explain. Here, I got these, we have these bumper magnets for you. I'm gonna put it right here on the side of your truck. There you go. Got a hotline number on it, so you can call that for counseling about how not to be lazy bones. Oh, what's going on? Why are you approaching me?
Why am I approaching you?
Yes. It's got a number for you. It's a present for you.
Take it back.
To teach you how to be lazy bones.
Take it back.
That's what you keep it. It's a gift to you. Why are you running after me?
Because you're a fucking asshole.
I'm a nice guy, sir.
No, you're a fucking asshole.
Luckily, I have good blocking skills. I blocked your attack.
You're an asshole.
I'm a narc. Let me explain.
I don't give a shit what you are.
Yeah, you do, because you're running after me, trying to throw stuff at me. So clearly,
I don't care. What I care about is you. I have rights. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I know. And what I'm saying,
leave me alone.
I'm having a private, small.
Leave me alone.
I'm trying to have a polite conversation.
No, I don't want to play. Leave.
Sir.
I'm calling the cops.
See, she's.
I'm hurt.
I'm a guy, actually. I'm a man.
Call the cops on him.
No, I'm not.
He's so discombobulated.
I'm having a polite conversation about how to be civil to your fellow customers.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
The reason they had the cart corral, which we're at, by the way, we were right here at the cart corral. You could have brought it back by now. Is because carts.
You walked over there. You could have put it there.
Well, sir, then you would have learned.
You are this close to being on the ground.
Why? I'm not on the ground at all.
Leave me alone.
So I don't think you can catch me. Number one. Number two.
You know what? What? Because I'm a fucking fat asshole.
No, sir. Because
I'm. What it is?
Because I'm highly trained in running. We train for this because we see like sometimes people get angry.
You know what? Go get the manager to.
Why?
Right now. Go get him.
What for?
Because you're bugging me.
I'm not bugging you.
Because you're bugging me. Like, that's all you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get a full video next time. These people are priced like it's something so small. Like if you think about it, the cart return thing, like this is a really small thing to have such a big impact on people, but people get really upset.
And the thing, you're going to leave your car door open, the keys in there and everything to go behind someone to talk to them.
Yes. Yep.
And you just think about it, if you come back and it's gone, you're going to blame that person. But you're the one that left your vehicle unattended.
Right. Exactly. No one told you to do that at all, even a little bit. Okay.
Wow. It's too much.
Right? It really is. It really I love it. Now this next one we got coming up. This one we've seen a clip of, right? We did not see a 5-minute clip. We saw a little clip years ago. We're going to watch the whole video in all of its glory. Because what I saw, I'm like, oh, this is a lot longer than I remember it being. And then parts came up and I went, oh, I don't remember her doing that at all. And it gives us a better story, a full, more complete picture. So now this Karen is talking to her trash man. In essence, right? And I get this too, I do. I get it, where it's like you either get the wrong information or maybe you Googled the wrong information or policy change or something and you put something out at the corner and then they don't pick up what you want them to pick up and now you mad. And they're not picking it up but Karen, instead of trying to solve the problem, is just entitled and will just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And when it doesn't work, then she does this. So let's see what I mean by this. Okay.
Let's know how to get vehicle now. What's your driver's license number?
I don't have to give that to you.
Let me see your driver's license.
You're not a police officer.
You just hit my vehicle.
Ma'am,
Give me your driver's license.
You pulled right out in front of me.
Yeah, and when someone pulls in front of you because there's an emergency, you slow your rear end down.
By the way, this is all bullshit. Okay? Everything she's saying about there being an emergency is bullshit. And you'll figure out why as soon as she starts talking about her real problem. Okay, but this is how she's covering her ass for the beginning of it. But let's go.
And you stop.
Okay,
Have you ever had someone have an emergency?
These are not
and
cars.
pull in front of you?
These are not cars. They don't stop on a dime.
It doesn't matter. You have to be far enough behind.
You know what? I'm going to tell you the whole
You should have picked up my trash, big boy.
I picked up your trash.
No, you didn't. You want to go see what you left?
I left the carpeting and the
You were
bedding.
supposed to pick up everything.
Nope, 4 bags.
Yeah. Oh, you are in so much
And
deep
last
crap.
week I
Well, you
picked
wait
up
till
more
your
than
boss
this, too.
tells you what you
He's
got to
on
pick
his
up.
way here, too,
You
man.
think you get to decide what you pick up and what
Nope,
you don't?
it's what you ordered.
You little twerp.
It's what you ordered.
You little twerp. I know what I ordered.
Okay.
And you're going to pay.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You like your job? You like it?
Yep, I do.
Yeah. Well, good luck, because you ain't going to have it. Pass today, baby.
You see? You should have picked up my trash. She told you.
You could have really hurt. You know that?
But he didn't though, right?
You're in this big vehicle.
Uh-oh.
My poor end. You could have freaking killed me, man. You are a big, big dude.
And he's
Enough,
not
it's
at
all
all.
on video.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Dude, Jesus Christ for videos. Yeah. If someone has an emergency and they pull in front of you, you slow down and you stop.
I
boy.
tried to slow down.
You didn't try hard enough, baby.
These don't
because
stop
you
on a
slammed
dime.
into the back of me.
These don't stop on a
Well,
dime,
you should
man.
know that. You should have picked
You
up my
didn't give me
trash.
time. You didn't give me time.
But okay, listen to the logic of what she's saying.
Right.
Right. So you have an emergency. So your response to the emergency is to suddenly cut in front of him and then slam on your brakes. And then the giant, super heavy 15 speed right to dump truck should just be able to stop on a dime in that scenario. That's what she's saying. And she's saying that since he didn't just stop on a dime the way she had been planning in her master plan, because this was not part of her master plan, was to get hit, right? She didn't actually plan on having her car hit. She wanted to stop him because, as she already mentioned at least twice so far, you should have picked up my garbage, because that's really what her problem is, okay? That is really her problem. That is why she did all of this. She didn't have an emergency outside of, oh, this MRFer, he didn't pick up my garbage again. Oh no, I'm gonna make him pick up my garbage this time. It's a showdown. That's really what this is about. Okay, y'all will see.
Right.
It's amazing. Like, Karen's got time. This is what happens when you let your wife be a stay-at-home wife with nothing to do, and then the kids leave, because then she really got nothing to do. And this is what she has to do. I'm just saying. Okay, let's keep watching.
Time.
You should have done your job, baby,
I
but
picked
you
up all your
didn't. And
trash.
after today, you ain't gonna have it.
I picked up all your trash.
Yeah, we'll
Is
see.
it really worth?
We'll
Is
see.
trash
Oh,
really
it's worth
it?
every penny, baby, because I've been working with you with your rear end for weeks.
Is it worth getting in an
I told
accident?
you what you were supposed to do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay.
Like a damn child.
All right.
And you can't even follow instructions.
Why don't you go back
How old
to your
are
vehicle?
you?
Why don't you go back to your
Baba
vehicle?
baby, baba baby. Da 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 da.
Mama say, Mama Saka Makusa.
Right?
You blew it, baby. You should have picked up my trash. That's all you had to do was follow instructions.
I picked
But
up
you
your
couldn't
trash.
handle it.
I picked up your
You
trash.
left some padding and you left some cat litter. And you know what? Now you're going to pay, baby.
I like how she ends every sentence with baby. Like she thinks she's still in like the 60s and 70s. I don't know. Yeah, baby.
If you go to a customer's garbage cans and they got 5 bags, then you charge them for 1 extra. But you got enough common sense to pick the sucker up. This guy ain't got no common sense.
So wait. Did y'all hear what she just said? What she said is that he lacks common sense for not picking up extra trash that she didn't pay for him to pick up. Like, she literally said she knows she has to pay for the extra bags. She knows she did not put any type of tag or whatever on the extra bag to prove she paid for the extra pickup. And yet he should have had the extra common sense to pick up the extra trash without any proof of payment. And it was his lack of common sense that made him not pick up the extra bag that he shouldn't have picked up, because there was no tag on it to prove she paid for anything. So what he should have done is picked up the bag first and then went back to her house and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, I need you to pay for that extra bag I picked up last week." That's how it was supposed to work.
I owe you.
Yeah, right? Good for one extra bag pickup. Like, that's what Karen is currently intimating, just so we're all clear. Okay, let's keep going.
Ain't nothing yet. I want the officer to know that you hit the back of my van and refused to give me your personal information. Ain't right.
Okay, that happened. Like, does she do meth? Like, I feel like she might do meth or like some type of drug, because like, what is happening?
First one I can, all right? Thank you.
Like, she's just walking and so she can't stop moving.
I gotta wait. This guy's a how shall I put it?
Who's she talking to?
A pussy?
Wow.
Y'all can see the bus. There's no one back there. She keeps showing the bus or the truck mirrors. I don't see anyone. Do y'all see someone back there?
No. Got me going in circles. Do, do, do.
Who's she talking to? There's no one there. Look, there's no one there. There's no one there. She's talking to nobody.
What in the world?
She's talking to the space beside the truck. She's wholly out of her mind.
Oh my goodness, poor thing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm telling you, mental health. Whew.
Right. Now, some of y'all might remember some piece of that video, but I know you don't remember the whole thing because I know I didn't play the whole thing, and I'm very glad we got the opportunity to see that as a cohesive whole. Because we played like 2 or 3 clips of it, like each like a minute long. We did not have the full, because her in silence walking in circles is still golden. Like that was a moment. I'm so happy he recorded that. Like that was a real moment.
Okay. Hey, people like circles.
Boy, you know what? Absolutely. Dre, I apologize. People really like circles, right? When left to their own devices, they just walk in them, apparently. So I don't know.
Yeah.
When you won't argue with them in circles, they'll just start walking in circles. Either way, they need a circle. Okay. Now, I wanted to play one of these Karens, and I'll play as many of them as I find this summer, because I wanted to warn y'all, listen, it's starting to become warm out. You know, maybe y'all's neighborhood pools are opening and whatever. And whenever that happens, we know what we have. A bunch of entitled Karens who think it is their God-given right to keep your Black children out of their supposedly white pool that they don't own or pay for in any way, right? But they swim in it. So therefore, they have the right to police you. Right. Let's watch this Karen in a pool key scenario.
Why I'm questioning you. I live here. But I don't know that.
Okay, and that's not your responsibility to know that.
Right.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
because
not.
I live here, and this is my community, and I have a key to get in.
I've probably been living here longer than you, so please just stop.
He has a key to get in.
Okay.
And I don't know who you are.
I've been living here since I was 5.
People.
I've been living here since I was 5.
With me.
You're arguing with me. I literally just walked in the door and you stank eye me.
Exactly.
You're being rude.
I'm not rude.
Lady, I just came here to tan. Leave me the fuck alone.
My community.
You want me to call my mom?
Yes.
I'll call my mom, and she'll come up here.
Yeah, call your mom.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
You look like you're on fucking steroids.
No. You act like you.
Okay, Mrs. Bug-Eyed Lady, please shut up now. No one wants to hear you.
Okay,
I came here to tan. Sorry, you're translucent.
Oh my God, you're a little.
Please continue. My mom will come up here and beat your ass.
Will she?
Uh-oh.
Please shut up.
Really?
No one wants to fucking hear you. Just shut up. Look, there's kids right there. Nobody wants to hear you flip out.
Who's cussing?
You are.
Who?
Who started this?
You're a bad influence on them.
Oh. Sorry, what? Karen? Is that your name?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
have you kicked out of here.
Guys, you guys both need to just stop. Mind your own business.
I'm gonna
Both
have
of
you
you guys.
kicked out of here.
Really?
Yes.
For doing what? I literally just came.
Arguing with me and making a scene.
Wow.
I didn't make a
All you
scene.
had to say was, "You can vouch for me."
I did. I said that.
Why don't you?
No. I'm gonna get you kicked out of here for arguing with me.
Right.
Wait. So you approached her and bothered her on her day. She did nothing to you, and there would be no argument if you sat in your corner and minded your own damn business. But apparently, she's the arbiter of all things valid, right? So when Karen decides you don't belong somewhere, she has the right to do that, and then you have to justify yourself to her. You have to say, well, that guy over there can vouch for me, because if Karen doesn't know that someone can vouch for you, then you don't belong there. That's it. That was amazing. That was her reason. I'm gonna get you kicked out of here. Why? For arguing with me.
Right.
What? That's your reasoning now? Like, you're not even trying to say she need to block her now for arguing with me when you started the argument because you won't go sit over there and mind your business, Karen. Okay, let's finish this off. Jesus Christ.
Go get your key.
I don't need
You
to.
live here.
I don't need to.
Yes, you do. You
No,
have
I
a
don't.
key to get in.
I have a key to get in.
Why can't somebody let you in?
Because they know her. Because they know her, Karen. So that's what happens. Someone let her in because they know her, which means she's been around a lot, probably because she lives there, or maybe that's one of their friends they invited. Either way, still none of your business if someone let her in. Because if someone let her in, it's because they had a reason to let her in, right? No one's letting in random strangers walking off the street, right? Like some random person walks up and like, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll let you in. You seem like a good kid. No one's doing that, right? Like they're letting in people they recognize. It's what it is.
Not a lot of people like, oh, you know, I want a tan today. Let me go over there. No, I don't do all of that. But you know, the other thing that's made me realize that Karen doesn't stop. She always loses, but she doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All the time. And it happened to me multiple times in my life. Multiple. And I find it amazing. Like this whole justification of, well, I think you're too black to be here. Right? That's normally what it is. But sometimes it is. It is just I don't recognize you. And I think I have a God-given right to recognize everybody. So that's it. I'm going to ruin your day now. And when you get proven to be right, I can't just be like, sorry, I was wrong. You were right. No. She's got to double down, right? And then you're still wrong. Really, you're still wrong. Now you're getting kicked out for a totally different reason. Because even though you do live here and everyone could vouch for you, you didn't bring your own key and you let someone let you in. And that's not really my problem, though. I'm going to get you kicked out because you argued with me, and you shouldn't have argued with me. You should have just immediately started bowing to me and justifying yourself to me. That's what you should have done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Get you kicked out for not kissing Karen's ass. That's how she saw it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I want to thank you all. We had a great time today. Hope that you tune in next Friday, 9:30 p.m. We're going to have a nice little show. It'll be interesting. I hope you guys participate. And if not, I'm going to cry. You don't want me to cry. But truly, though, thank you so much for your likes, your shares. Thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. All the comments. You guys are funny. I don't respond to all of them because I'm looking too, but you all are funny, and I do thank you for that. I hope that you have a safe week. Please be careful out there. It's getting warmer. Folks are doing all kind of stuff. Look over your back. Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't have your music too loud. You know, all that good stuff that we tell you. And please tune in next week. As I said, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a live stream. It's going to be on. And until we see each other again, peace.
Cheers, y'all.